Yeah, Dave is dope. And to be honest with you, my real synopsis of him, Mike, is I really feel like Dave's just one big hit away.
I think so too, and I
I
think he
think,
could do it too.
I think he can.
I think him and Joey too. I think that they really are taken in by the Hollywood money, and I think that the music is just secondary at this point. I mean, you could tell Joey Badass is really into the acting thing. Same thing with Dave, and it's like, when you
You
start
can't.
getting that acting money, the music money just can't match it.
That's what I mean. Is like, okay, so you have to be a businessman about stuff. And I've said this, and I think I said this
Hmm.
on the show. It's like if a CEO is making X amount of dollars, Mike, and they get used to making X amount of dollars, you can't like expect them to go run over here for this amount of money, like in a fastidious fashion. You
Well, the
know,
thing is with music, you're being charged for everything. Whereas film, you just pull up to the set and you're getting paid for everything.
yeah,
It's a big difference when you don't have to recoup anymore. It's not your responsibility to recoup this movie.
well, also, I was about to say that now you're saying something right there because it's the money, it's the lack of responsibility, Mike. When it's
Yeah.
your project, you're responsible for so many things and also feeding so many people, Mike. When you acting, you don't own the studio. You're not the
Nope.
executive producer. You're not the director. You're not in charge of editing. You pulling up and playing your part, and you pulling up out, Mike.
Yeah. I
Hey,
mean, any
millions of
smart
dollars, like
person would pick that. And I've always said to people, I said that what they talk about what Tupac would have done if he
you
wouldn't
have
have
been an
if he
actor,
wouldn't have been murdered. Yes, he would have put music to the side. You can't turn down those acting checks, especially
Mike.
when they already put you in that artist debt. It's like it's a no brainer.
He was already starting to feed towards that way before he passed. Mike, like
Hmm.
one of the articles that I always remember is like when DMX first came out. God rest his soul. He talked about how like it's dark and hell is hot, so like 700,000 units. He waited to get a $76,000 check from that after everybody else got paid. He made like $3 million for doing Romeo Must Die.
Yeah,
Like
it
hello,
only makes sense, and it's
hello.
unfortunate to us the fans. I mean, another artist where I feel like that happened to. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sitting here ordering dinner while we're doing this show. This is a real laid back show. But
Cool. Only thing Black Eyed Peas,
anyway, no, another
collard
artist that
greens, cornbread. No, Mike, I got cornbread and Black Eyed Peas collard greens upstairs. Little lamb.
no, no, I'm good. That sounds great right now, but by the time I get to it, it's
But
just But anyway, man, another artist that happened to me with is Janelle Monáe. I remember Janelle dropped Arc Android, brilliant effort, and then, you know, it was just really her following that really rocked with it like that. And then you get Electric Lady, and that was like what 2013.
okay, so it's
Electric
what you
Lady
do.
is dope.
Okay,
Go
so
ahead.
Mike, so when you're talking about the Android album, Mike,
Uh huh.
I can remember being down in the city. Somebody walked into the spot where I was at, and they was like, and they knew who I was. They knew I was a music dude, so they was like, "Yeah, I'm about to go see Janelle Coop." I'm like, "Where is she?" It's like she's about to perform in like 30 minutes. Like he was super plugged to her. Like
Hmm.
what I'm saying. He was like, if you would have seen the footage from that night, like he was on stage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
One of those types of things. But it was like also one of those types of things. It's like, well, nigga, why don't nobody know? You
Well, you know what?
see?
It's interesting because she was actually on Bad Boy for Arc Android,
No, like
and
this is when
yeah,
she was on. That's what I'm saying. She was on Bad Boy, and it's like she'd be pulling up in the A, and I would be in the A, and I wouldn't know, and other people wouldn't know, and so it's like that's what I'm talking about. That opportunity, like for marketing and branding. It's like no, that album was great. She was great. It's like let people know. Like stop
everybody
doing.
in the chat is saying that we need to shout out Shannon Williams. Shout out Shannon Williams. What's going on? We got a birthday. Happy birthday, Shannon Williams. We appreciate you continuously being a part of our lives, man. And everybody being a part of the A2HH live. No, I agree with you, man. I remember those days when she was at what is the name of that spot? Oh, it's gonna come to me in a second, man. But she used to be around the city performing a lot. It was that weird period.
Face.
It was that weird period. I think it was like '09, 2010 ish, where major artists and independent artists kind of seemed like on the same level because the majors just
I
didn't.
don't
They
think she
haven't
cared. That's what
adjusted
I'm
to
saying.
the.
It's like she cared, but she didn't care. But it's like you got this great product. that maybe like the masses should hear. So I need you to care maybe a little bit more.
Well, I mean, she was doing press. I mean, she was doing Gatlinburg, she was doing festivals and all that stuff. I think that the type of music that she was making just wasn't connecting to a black audience. I was watching the Tina Turner documentary, and they were talking
That's
about when she worked with Phil Spector and why it didn't connect with people. That was '66, and what was that? Rivers Run High, Mountain, something like that. But anyway, Ike was like, you
River
know,
High, Valley Low.
yeah,
Mountain High, Valley Low.
yeah, and Ike was like, it didn't work because, for the white audience, you're too black, and for the black audience, you're too white. And
Yeah, but
as
like,
and as
hold on, hold
straightforward as that sounds, coming from like Ike Turner, it's the truth. When you straddle
on.
that line, like a Rez or something like that, it's tough for certain outlets to pick it up righteously. And I think that was the middle ground that Janelle was in musically, where it was like she wasn't going to get support from black radio
First
for
of
the
all,
music she was making.
Mike, we're on a hip hop podcast, and somehow we got the Ike Turner. I don't quite know how that happened.
We talk music,
Just-
man.
I just want to say that. So, Mike, but here's what I'm saying. Okay, so you talk about like let's go to that Ike Turner statement real quick
Mhm.
because I want to say something like that. That Tina Turner song that she did with Phil Spector. Mike, what's the
Let's
name
get
of
the
the song?
right name. Yeah.
Yep. I'm not even about to
I
disrespect
mean, it's
her.
just being live, man. That happens. I was actually just listening to the record today.
I want to say it's River High, Valley Low.
Yeah, River Deep, Mountain High. That's what it was.
River Deep, Mountain High.
Mhm.
Okay. So, Mike, do you hear her vocally on that record?
Yeah.
Okay, like she's brilliant. She's flexing. That's music. That's Tina Turner behind a live band. So, all respect due to Ike Turner and whatever audience it is. No, that's what music is. That's Tina Turner behind a live band. Fuck what Ike Turner talking about.
But that's not what he was saying. He didn't say the song was
I get-
bad. He was
I get what
saying why
you're
it
saying.
didn't work. And
Right. But what I'm saying is when you got good music, you just push good music. And so that song was still out there and that song still got spins because you push good music. It don't matter what it fit into really at the end of the day when it's great. Like Tina Turner's great on that record. That
we're
record's
music people. And so we think that. But what I'm saying is, I mean, we can't sit here and act like on Arc Android she didn't have Tightrope on that. She's out there performing at the White House for the Obamas with Tightrope. Black folks still didn't rock with her music. It is what it is. We could we'll just keep it real. We had people who really, really rock with the music, but on a general sense, Janelle didn't connect to urban radio. And it's not anything that she didn't do right. She was just making music that didn't fit that format, unfortunately. And I think that's what Ike was saying, and that's why I quoted him. But
I mean, you do understand that like Michael Jackson and Prince never fit that format for a second. They did just fine. You get what I'm saying?
I agree, but they had a foundation in it, though. You know what I'm saying? And I think when Janelle came out with Arc Android, she didn't have the kind of foundation that Michael had when.
Hold on. Listen to what I'm
Because
saying.
he had, I mean, even
That's
from
what I'm
his
saying.
child
That's-
career, he had Off the Wall. That was a very urban
Mike,
foundation.
No, but Mike, but what I'm saying is that when you make the material, go hard and establish it. That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I didn't see. I just saw the same thing. Like the way that she was kind of, or whoever was running it before she made that project is how they ran it with that project. I'm like, why are you running it the same way when you got this project in your hands? You know what I'm saying?
Again, I don't know, man. I feel what you're saying, but
Like
I don't.
hey, Mike, when Prince bought Warner Brothers 1999, they was like, we about to run this shit different.
But I feel you. But he also had "I Want to Be Your Lover" as a foundation.
No, he had about 5 or 6 hits before he made 1999. He made a few out.
But I'm just saying, like
albums,
"I Want to Be Your Lover" is a black record. Let's just call it what it is. I
Very
mean,
black.
yeah.
It's
So
actually
she didn't have those kind of foundations, and I think that. I mean, when you have an artist that's that talented and puts out an album like Arc Android, which is a beautiful effort, not in my opinion, I know it was made here in Atlanta. I think it's one of the best albums to ever come out of this city. I know she's from Kansas City or whatever, but yeah. But with that being said, I just think it's just one of those brilliant albums that people just didn't get. Now, fast forward to Electric Lady. I think that she was able to tap in a little bit more with like, Prime Time when she worked with Miguel on that song, the song Electric Lady itself. These records connected a little bit more. And then after that, movies blew up. And I remember seeing Janelle, I think it was a interview she did on Ebro's show. And you could tell she was frustrated in the fact that she had made these two brilliant albums and they didn't get the recognition or play that other artists got, that she know her album was much better than. And when all those things are going on and you're getting recognition as an actress and you're getting paid as an actress, you're not making music anymore. You know what I mean? That's just the unfortunate, reality of it. And I'm happy for Janelle and her acting career and what she's been able to do. But unfortunately, we're just not going to get that artist anymore. Same thing with Childish Gambino. Once the roles come, once Hollywood starts cutting the check, not coming back.
Can I give you an honest assessment, though?
What's that?
How great were those projects?
Which ones?
Both of them. The Electric Lady and...
Oh, they were great. Darren Harris is bringing up Dirty Computer. I'm going to keep it real. Darren Harris said Dirty Computer was great. It was a great album, too. It's nowhere near those other two. And the fact that she got nominated for Album of the Year at the Grammys for by far the least the least greatest album that she put out, I kind of think that as an artist, you kind of got to take a step back and be like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, imagine you made an album, 3 albums. The third album, you really didn't put the work in.
Mike, you missing what I'm saying. You missing what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
She didn't take it there is what I'm saying.
What you mean?
She didn't take her style and her image there. She just took her image wherever it would go. She didn't take it there. When you got a style and a sound like hers, you have to push the boundaries and the limits of what you're doing constantly. That's why I brought up Prince and Michael Jackson. Not like she's as great as them, but in terms of their boundary pushers.
Yeah.
Because the style of music that they make, it doesn't really fit into Mike. The style of music that Michael Jackson and Prince make doesn't fit into a pop format or a typical R&B format, but it's on both everywhere all the time. They push the boundaries. When you're that type of artist, you push the boundaries of it. And what I'm telling you is the music is there. She didn't push it.
I think respectfully, and again, I know Michael and Prince are something else, and the fact that we're even mentioning them in a Janelle Monáe conversation.
They didn't make typical black music, Mike.
No. Let me finish real quick, though. That's a tribute to how dope she is anyway. But I don't think she had the kind of machine behind her that those guys had, and that's just, it is what it is. Prince being not only being an artist for himself, but the fact that he was able to provide other Warner Brother artists so much material, the machine was going to be behind him, as they should. I don't know. It's one of those things too, and I want to say about Dirty Computer that I'm gonna say this respectfully, and y'all know I'll be honest on here, man. Those songs on that album sound like knockoff Prince songs, and I know that she's worked with Prince before he was on Electric Lady, and I just felt like, as a listener, and I could be wrong, doesn't sound like she put in the time on that record that she did on Arc Android and Electric Lady. Obviously she's a movie star now, so now you're splitting time. Now you sound like Common or something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh shit.
No, I'm just saying, like, you could tell. I've always said, man, when you start acting, especially in hip hop, it's over, man. You just don't have that kind of time anymore.
Okay.
You don't have that time to really just straight up dedicate